For 1,000 years, Europe forgot how to draw a baby.
This is not a metaphor. Look at any medieval painting. Every baby looks like a 40-year-old accountant who just got audited.
And everyone was completely fine with it for 10 centuries. Today, all of medieval art, the gold, the god, the furious babies, and the manuscripts where knights fight snails for no reason. By the end of this video, you will understand 1,000 years of art, decode the secret symbols, know exactly what to say in a museum to sound dangerously cultured, and finally understand the babies. No filler. Let's go. Chapter 1. Rome falls. Year 476. Rome had realistic statues, perfect anatomy, guys who actually looked like guys. Then the empire collapses, and art seems to forget all of it. Flat, stiff, strange proportions. Historians used to call this the Dark Ages. Big mistake. Deeply judgmental. Because medieval artists did not get worse. They changed the assignment. Greek and Roman art asked, how does this look? Medieval art asked, what does this mean? A painting was not a photo. It was closer to an infographic. Beautiful and deadly serious. Chapter 2. Gold and God. Mostly God. Almost all medieval art is religious because the church had the money, the walls, and the final say. Meet the Byzantine icon. Flat figures, enormous eyes, and a background of pure gold. That gold is not decoration. Gold means heaven. Timeless, radiant, and for the artist, extremely expensive to paint. And perspective, gone. On purpose. In these paintings, the most important figure is the biggest, not the closest. It is not bad drawing, it is a ranking system. Jesus is huge. The rich guy who paid for the painting is tiny, in the corner. Medieval search engine optimization. Actual fact, this style barely changed for 800 years. Not because they could not innovate, but because changing a sacred image felt like editing scripture. Chapter 3. The babies. Finally. Why does every medieval baby look like a small, furious man? Meet the homunculus idea. Christ was understood to be perfect and wise from the very beginning, so artists painted him as a small adult. The point was never cuteness. It was wisdom and majesty from day one. Also, painting realistic babies is genuinely hard, and honestly, nobody was checking. So for centuries, medieval babies looked like they ran a hedge fund. And it was not just babies. Everyone looks kind of the same. Same almond eyes, same long nose, same expression of a person who has seen things. Individual faces were not the point. The type mattered more than the person. Chapter 4. And this is where it gets completely unhinged. Monks spent their entire lives hand-copying books. Each one, by hand. For months. And in the margins, the very edges of these holy, sacred texts, they drew whatever they wanted. Knights fighting giant snails, rabbits putting humans on trial, and things far too strange to describe out loud. Historians still argue about the snails. Nobody actually knows. It might be deep symbolism. It might be a 1,000-year-old inside joke. My theory? Copying anything by hand for 8 straight months does things to a person. This is the medieval version of doodling in the corner of your notebook, except the notebook is priceless and now lives behind glass in a museum. Chapter 5. The Cathedrals. The Flex. Around the year 1150, architecture goes vertical. This is Gothic. Pointed arches, towers, and walls that frankly should not stand up. The goal? Make you walk in, look up, and feel about 2 inches tall. And the walls turn into glass. Stained glass windows the size of buildings. Most people could not read, so the windows told the stories. It was medieval television. Glowing, gigantic, and strictly educational. And the colored light pouring through? That was the whole point. Light was the divine. God as lighting design. Actual fact, some cathedrals took over 100 years to build. The people who started them knew they would die first. And they built anyway. Chapter 6. Art remembers depth. Around the year 1300, a man named Giotto shows up and does something radical. He makes people look heavy, real, a little sad. His figures have weight. They cast shadows. They look like they would actually hurt if they fell on you. It is the first real crack in the flat golden world, the beginning of the end of medieval art. Give it another century and you get the Renaissance, perspective, and a great many very confident men in Florence. But that is another video. Probably. If you subscribe. Chapter 7. The part that makes this actually useful. Picture it. You are standing in a gallery, facing a glowing gold medieval painting. Here's how to sound like you actually get it. See a glowing ring behind a head? That is a halo, so that is a saint. Gold background means heaven. Tiny person in the corner is the guy who paid. Someone holding a random object? It is a symbol. Keys mean St. Peter, a wheel means St. Catherine, a lamb means, honestly, a lot of things. And the move that always works, lean in, tilt your head, and quietly say, "You can really feel the symbolism here." Nobody will ever question you. Congratulations, you now understand more medieval art than most people who walk straight past it. Recap, fast. Medieval art was not worse. It had a different job, meaning over realism. Gold means heaven, bigger means more important. The babies are tiny adults on purpose. The margins were unhinged. The cathedrals were the flex, and Giotto broke the spell. Follow this channel and every video makes you one dinner party more dangerous. Now go find a painting of a furious baby and feel something. Good luck out there.